There's just amazing little 7-year-old boy that came to me a few years ago. And his mother came in too, and I was asking her, what do you want from a session? She said, don't talk to me, I'm just the chauffeur. He got online and decided he needed a hypnotherapist and he needed you. And so I'm just here, I just drove him here.
Dude,
so she
what
was
an
in the
awesome
back,
kid.
and when I would have a session with him, she'd go under too, and then she'd wake up at the end, and she said that was just the best part of her day. And so she
Good
really
nap.
enjoyed it, yeah. And he was having a really hard time with a fear of heights and a fear of flying. And it had gotten worse and worse. Those fears tend to what we call generalize, and it became a fear of open spaces and of people and things like that. And so it kept getting worse.
Yeah.
And he's only 7. Where's that going to go? That could be really debilitating. And
Oh, yeah.
they already had to cancel family vacations because of it. So they were going on a trip to Seattle, and they didn't want to cancel the vacation. So this little kid decides, I'm not going to cancel the family vacation. 7 years old. I'm going to get help, and I'm going to fix this.
That's awesome.
I just love this kid. Anyway, so I started working with him, and the way I approached it was to let him know that he had a superpower. And just like the superheroes that he watches on TV and the movies and stuff like that, he has a superpower.
Yeah.
And it's his subconscious mind. And he can interact with that part of his brain anytime he wants, and that he can let that part of his brain drive everything and take control and do exactly what he wants to do, feel the way he wants to feel. And I worked with him for 3 sessions, and he was able to go on the vacation to Seattle. He had no problem. He did great. And then, when he had a blanket, actually. He came in with a blanket. He had a blanket, security blanket, because he was just so scared all the time, and he just felt like he needed that blanket. By the end of it, he wasn't bringing the blanket in anymore.
That's awesome.
And they went to Seattle. And then the next year, the family went to New York City. And Mom sent me pictures of him on top of the Empire State Building looking down on the city of New York and smiling. And I thought, that's the coolest thing ever.
Which you never would have been able to do
Never
before.
would have been able to do. And since then, a couple years later, she called me and said, he's telling me his superpower is failing him because he has to do a solo in his little musical group at this concert. And he needs to come back in and have something happen with his superpower. So he came back in. 1 session, that's all it took. And she sent me a videotape of his concert and his solo, and he did a great job. And then since then, he's been going through high school, junior high and high school, and he wants to be a marine biologist, and he's been flying all over the world, taking advantage of all these internships and other opportunities to study in almost every continent he's been on now, studying as a marine biologist.
That's incredible.
Before even getting to college.